everyone, in today's video I'm going to be bringing a bottle of these two beautiful palettes. So I'm going to test both of them, one in one eye, one in the other, and see if these are truly a dupe. So without any further ado, let's get started. When I see them at first sight, I don't see like they are really a dupe to each other. I feel like the Colourpop is not as true gold as the other one. Even though it has a lot of golden tones, it isn't as strong as this one. This one, I think it has like true gold tones. Like you can see this one is super yellow, very golden. And I don't see a matching tone in the Colourpop one. But let's see if we can create something similar. If you have one or the other, maybe you can create a look similar and you can enjoy the same experience of having a gold palette. I saw a lot of people commenting on the picture where they announced the release of this palette that this was such a similar palette to this one from Colourpop, so that's why I wanted to compare them both. In this eye, I'm going to be using Huda, and in this eye, I'm going to be using the Colourpop one. And let's try to do a look that looks similar and see if we can come up with something. I'm going to do my eyes first, of course. I don't have nothing on my skin. Let me put this hair to the side. It looks weird, but I need space to see my eyes. Let's prep first. Let's prep our eyes first, and I'm gonna be using the P. Louise eye base, and let me use it in both eyes so we can give it a fair chance. Okay, perfect. Now that my eyes are prepped, I'm going to take from the Huda Beauty side the shade called, well, it doesn't have a name actually. So it's the second shade on the first row, and I'm going to use it as a transition. So let's start with that one. It's like a really pretty nude color with a soft pink undertone. And I'm going to use it only in the top of my crease just to set there the eyeshadow base. And from the Colourpop one, I'm going to take the shade called State of Mind. And this shade, even though it's not as pink as the other one, it has like the same nude type of finish, which is perfect also to set here in the top of the crease. The Colourpop one is almost the same color of my skin, so that's why you guys can barely see it. I can barely see it, so I guess you guys also can barely see it. And let's move to the other shade. Okay, I'm going to be doing something smoky because Huda Beauty's palette only have 3 mattes, and the 3 mattes, only 2 of them are similar to what the Colourpop has. So I'm going to be taking the first shade on the second row from the Huda Beauty side, and that's like a dark chocolate brown, and I'm going to be smoking the outside of the eye, and I'm going to take basically whatever is left on the brush. I'm going to take it a little bit towards the inner corner and try to blend it very well. I'm experiencing a little bit of patchiness, but it's nothing too complicated or nothing too visible. If you look at like very closely, you'll see it, but from far it's not very visible. And basically what I'm doing is trying to mix this shade with the shade I applied before, so it's not as strong, but it's a very beautiful chocolate brown. And I'm only using it on the exterior part, like in the outer corner. Okay, perfect. I'm going to take another brush similar to this one, and I'm going to take from the Colourpop the shade Bold Rush, which is similar to the Huda's, but this one is a little bit more into the warm side. The Huda Beauty is a little bit more cool tone. So this one probably is not gonna be as strong as the Huda Beauty one. Let's see. Yeah, definitely it's not as pigmented, but not because it's not good, it's because of the undertone, which is not as dark. So it doesn't give me that smokiness like this one does. But the Colourpop one has another one, which I might be able to mix it with this one, which is a darker tone, and maybe can give me that smokiness here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add this shadow here that's called Big Brush, and only apply it here in the bottom part of the lid. The reason why I didn't choose this one as the same as the Huda's is because this one has some glitter particles, which Huda's doesn't have. So that's why this one wouldn't be a true dupe to the Huda Beauty shade, because it doesn't have the same particles. And I'm basically mixing the two of them, like the bold brush and big brush. Apply it here so I can create the same smokiness I did on the Huda side. And I'm kind of getting almost the same finish, so I'm not mad at it. I'm actually going back to Huda's, and I'm going to emphasize a little tiny here because I took it a little bit farther here. So let me just do the same here. Perfect. I actually don't see so much of a difference. When I did mix those two shades, it's looking almost the same as the Huda's side. So let's try now all of the shimmer ones. From the Huda, I'm going to take the second shade on the second row, which is like a shimmery duochrome gold. And I'm going to use it here in the outer part of the lid. It's very, very beautiful. It's super glittery, and it has like green reflex with golden, some silver you can see there too. It's super, super cute. And I'm going to apply it from the middle to the outer part of the lid. Let me go back to the brown shade and just mix here to make sure that they mix together, they're well blended together. And using the same brush, I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to take from the Colourpop one, I'm going to take U-Team. I don't know how to pronounce that. Which would be something similar to the Huda's, but this one doesn't have as much golden as the Huda one, but it's very, very similar too. What I'm gonna do is for both eyes, I wanna see how pigmented they would be if I use my fingers. So I'm going to take the Huda's. Look at that, guys, wow. And I'm gonna use my finger to create more, oh my God. Look at that golden. To create more saturation. And with the brush, I'm going to just mix here and get rid of any harsh line on the top of the shade. The same thing I'm gonna do with the Colourpop one, which is great too. Look at that. Wow. I want you guys to see this beautiful swatch here. Like, both of them are gorgeous. Even though Colourpop's is more towards copper than gold, and the gold palette from Huda is more golden, they both are beautiful. And they look gorgeous together. Let me get the brush here and do the same, get rid of any harsh line. Beautiful, I'm super excited. Okay, let's get this one. I think it's going to be more similar, this net shade. And it's going to be from the Huda. Let's actually try two. Let's try the very gold one, which is the last shade on the bottom row from the Huda's palette, using also a flat brush. And I'm going to apply from the center, going towards the inner corner. And from my inner corners, I'm gonna use another shade that I find it very similar to each other. Also beautiful. Look at that golden, guys. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Let me clean the brush and take from the Colourpop one would be Gold Star, which is the true golden one that they included in the palette. Wow, this one is beautiful too. It's not as yellow as the Huda Beauty. It's more like a burnt yellow, but it's beautiful. I'm so happy I have both palettes and I can create golden tones like this, and they look amazing, both of them. And what I'm gonna do to give it more of a hint of yellow to the Colourpop one, I'm going to put on top the one that's called Digging You. and just apply a very tiny amount on top and mix it with the other shade that we had before. So we can get more of a yellow finish, not as orange as it was before. And now if you see it, guys, like together, you wouldn't know if they're different shadows at all. Like now that I did that, both of them look golden and look almost the same color. Wow. Oh my God. Thank God I turned the brush and touched the Huda side, but it was clean. The other part of the brush was clean, so it didn't affect it. But they look beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so let's try one more. I'm super excited now. Let me get a tiny flat brush. Let me clean it here. And I'm going to take the shade called, well, it doesn't have a name. It's the last shade on the first row on Huda's. And I'm going to apply that one on my inner corner. Okay, this one is not as strong as the rest, but it's a very nice shade too. And to create that light in the inner corner is beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna clean the brush, and from Colourpop, I'm going to take 24K, which is very similar to this shade. Actually, if you see them together, they're almost like the same undertone and everything. Okay, the Colourpop one is actually a super shock shadow, and you know that those super shock shadows are a little bit like wet feeling, and they look amazing as toppers. So the Colourpop one is not as reflective or is not as sparkly as the Huda Beauty, but it's beautiful too. Like, it's very, very gorgeous. The look looks very, very similar. If you wear this and go outside, people wouldn't realize, because they're very, very similar. I don't see any substantial difference. The only difference that I see is like the Huda side is a little bit more sparkly. I see a lot more shine, and the Colourpop is softer, but they look beautiful. Very, very nice. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to finish the rest of my face and go back. We finish the bottom part and do final touches. Okay, now that my skin is done, I did like a glowy finish type of skin today. I'm going to finish, well, I'm going to finish the bottom part of both eyes. So let's start with Huda's. And with a flat brush, I'm going to take a little bit of the shade, the brown shade on the second row, the very first one. And just apply it in the outer part and smoke it out there. The only thing, or the only issue I have with the Huda's one is that since it's very glittery, the glitter is all over my face now. So that's the only thing when you are working with that type of shades that have a lot of glitter, that you might be experiencing some glitter in your face after a couple of minutes of wearing it, but it's okay. We can handle that. You can also use a glitter base, and that will help you to keep the glitter in place. And from the Colourpop, we're gonna use a mix of bold brush and big brush. And do the same thing here in the outer part. And smoke it all the way. I'm using the same brush on both sides. I'm just cleaning it in between. I'm using the same brown, I'm just taking a little bit more of it. Perfect. And to finish the inner corners, I'm going to take a pencil brush and I'm going to take the shade. Let's do the gold shade because I love the golden. And it's going to be the last shade on the last row. And I'm going to apply it in the inner part of the lid and the bottom lid. I love that golden, it's beautiful. And with the same brush, let me just clean it. I'm going to take Gold Star and a tiny bit of Digging You, which is the same mix we applied before, and do the same thing. Just clean some fallout here. Let me apply some mascara super quick on the bottom lashes. Okay guys, so this is the final look. As you can see, they look almost the same. I will say that the difference is very, very small. You can see like the two eyes look like it was the same palette, but maybe different shades of the palette, but the finishes on both palettes are beautiful. I think both of them have great quality. I have never had any issues with pigmentation or finish with Colourpop or Huda Beauty. Now that I've been using Huda Beauty a lot, I really love the brand and I really love how they work with glitters and different type of pigments and create different things that elevate the look a lot. And I really love that they came out with this idea. It's a beautiful palette. From having one or the other, I will have the both of them if I can. If you can afford it, definitely splurge and get both palettes because they're beautiful. Both of them, I think you're gonna get amazing results. They're beautiful. This one is limited edition, so I'm not sure if it's still available, but if it is, please go ahead and buy it. And the Colourpop is there forever, so you can get it at any time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you like the video, what do you think about the shades, if you really think that they are dupes or not. And if you have both palettes, have you compared them or not? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give me thumbs up if you like this video and share it with your friends. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching and I see you next time. Bye bye. Yo.